Welcome to this discourse on biological energy dynamics. Bioenergetics serves as the theoretical bedrock for understanding how life is sustained in the Nigerian biosphere. At its core, nutrition is the process of energy acquisition and transformation. We differentiate between autotrophs, the primary producers, like the tropical rainforest canopy and indigenous food crops, and heterotrophs, including humans and various fauna, common to our West African region. Theoretically, these processes are governed by the laws of thermodynamics. Autotrophs utilize the free energy from the sun or chemical oxidation to create high-energy bonds in glucose, whereas heterotrophs must consume these bonds to release energy for cellular work. This follows the principle of energy conservation, ensuring that biomass production in our agricultural sectors remains efficient and sustainable. Our study today bridges the gap between basic chemical inputs and the complex physiological systems of Nigerian biodiversity.
Today, we delve into the fundamental biochemical mechanisms of photosynthesis. Historically, it was believed that oxygen released during photosynthesis came from carbon dioxide. However, Cornelius van Niel, through his studies on purple sulfur bacteria, proposed the revolutionary hypothesis that oxygen actually originates from the photolysis of water. This is expressed in the general equation CO2 plus 2H2A yields CH2O plus H2O plus 2A. In green plants, H2A is H2O, thus oxygen is the byproduct. This discovery laid the groundwork for understanding the light-independent reactions, often referred to as the Calvin cycle or carbon fixation, where CO2 is reduced to glucose using ATP and NADPH generated in the light stage. For our Nigerian context, understanding these pathways is vital for improving the yield of staples like cassava and yams, which rely heavily on efficient carbon sequestration. We delve into the metabolic constraints of plant development through the lens of Justus von Liebig's law of the minimum, formulated in 1840. This theoretical framework is vital for understanding why crops in certain Nigerian ecological zones fail despite heavy rainfall or sunlight. The law asserts that plant growth is controlled not by the total amount of resources available, but by the scarcest resource, often referred to as the limiting factor. In our local context, where soil leaching is common in the rainforest zones, a deficiency in a single micronutrient, like zinc or boron, can stifle the entire growth process, even if nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are provided in abundance. We must visualize this using the Liebig's barrel analogy, where the shortest stave determines the water-holding capacity. Effective agricultural management in Nigeria requires us to identify and supplement these specific limiting elements to ensure food security and optimal physiological yield.
Welcome to this discourse on the biochemical foundations of animal nutrition. Within the Nigerian ecological context, we categorize food substances into macronutrients and micronutrients based on their quantitative requirements. Carbohydrates, derived from staples like Dioscorea species, yam, and Manihot esculenta, cassava, serve as the primary respiratory substrate for ATP synthesis. Proteins are indispensable for the biosynthesis of enzymes and structural tissues, particularly during the rapid growth phases of mammals. Lipids offer high-density energy storage and thermal insulation. Micronutrients, including vitamins and minerals, act as cofactors in enzymatic reactions, maintaining the delicate balance of metabolic homeostasis. This classification is not merely academic, but a prerequisite for understanding the physiological demands and the thermodynamic principles governing the mammalian body.